it's Nørgaard. So today I'm doing a new makeup tutorial. Today we're doing a full face of first impressions. So this is the look I came up with. So I'll show you everything in this video, from the eyes to the eyebrows, the lips, the skin, everything. And I'm using all drugstore or like affordable products. So let me know what you think down below. I actually had a lot of fun doing this video. It's been a long time since I've done something with new products and something with purple or mauve on my eyes. I don't really have much else to say because I know the video is going to be long since I talk through every single step in the makeup process. So let's just cut it off here. So don't forget to like the video if you enjoy it. Without further ado, here comes the video. I'm going to start out by priming my face. And this is the primer I'm going to try. So this is the Essence Prime+Studio Redness Correcting and Pore Minimizing Primer. I have the original of this primer and I love it. So I thought I would try this Redness Correcting Primer. It really appeals to me that it's like a redness correcting primer but also a pore minimizing primer, because usually those two don't go hand in hand. Okay, so what do you guys think? It's not super redness correcting, I don't think, but it does have a very good texture. It's not too hydrating on my very oily skin. Okay, so it might have like reduced my redness a little bit, but I don't know, it's not bad, it's just not as good as I expected it to be. Anyway, let's move along. I'm going to use the Technic primer spray now. And I'm going to use this one because I'm going to use the Technic setting spray. So I just thought I would use them like in combination. Okay, so I like the sprayer and it smells good. It seems okay so far. Primer spray is like kind of a product that I always feel is a little bit gimmicky, you know? I'm just always wondering if it actually is doing anything, you know? But because like with the contrast of the setting spray, where you can actually either see your makeup like bond together better, or you can see that your makeup is the wear is prolonged by using a setting spray. With a primer spray, I just feel like the effect is a little less obvious. So next up I have these two brow products. So I have the Technic brow pen. It's called the Eyebrow Definer in medium brown. And then I have the W7 Brows For You Microblade brow pen in blonde. So this one by Technic is just kind of like an eyeliner type of thing. And this one from W7 is supposed to have 3 little spikes that draw on individual hairs, like looking like individual hairs. So let's go ahead and try them out. So I'm going to brush my eyebrow hairs up. I've never tried anything like this before. And then I brush the brow hairs down. Okay, it looks like extremely natural. So even though they are liquid pens, it looks very natural. But I feel like the product also has a little bit of a hard time gripping to my skin in some places. So maybe it's just because I'm not used to working with this type of formula, like a more liquid, almost eyeliner style formula. But I find it to be a little bit hard to use. Okay, so I have both the brows on now. I must say I don't really know what to think of these brow products. I will have to definitely try and use them again, because maybe I just need to like evolve my technique. But so far I'm not super impressed, because I just feel like they don't cling well enough to my skin or the hairs. I'm going to use this W7 Got It Covered concealer palette. And I think I'm going to use this color to just clean up the brows. So this concealer is way thicker than I thought it would be. So I'm actually very impressed with that. So I'm going to try out this e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush to blend out my concealer around my eyebrows. Usually I would use my mini or just a regular beauty blender for this, but this seems to actually work pretty well. So for my eyeshadow primer, I'm going to use the Technic Matte Eyeshadow Primer. So let's see how it works, and if it's like a sheer formula or if it has some coverage. It looks to be pretty sheer, I think, so far. And I'm just blending it out. Okay, so it does have a little bit of some coverage, actually, more than I expected. Okay, so I completely forgot that I'm not doing a flashback Friday, so I actually did, as you can see, this eye off camera. But anyways, it's fine. I'll just do this eye and tell you my thoughts on the products as we do this eye together. So I'm going to use this palette by Technic. This is called Mystic Mauves. And I'm going to use this very center light mauve color. So I'm blending this as a transitioning color, and I really love this color and I love the texture. I think this is a very nice palette. Then I'm going to use this light skin tone matte color, and I'm packing that on the brow bone. Then I'm going to take this eyeshadow palette. It's called Mega Sultry and it's also from Technic. And I'm going to take this matte mauve color, and this color is also going into like the transition area, and I blend it out. Then from the Mystic Mauves, I'm going to take this dark matte mauve color, and again this one is also going into the same transitioning area, and I just go ahead and blend it out. And finally I'm going to take this dark purple color, so we're just kind of building up the crease now. And it doesn't matter if it gets messy on the eyelid, we're going to cut the crease. So I'm very pleased with both of these palettes. Usually Technic eyeshadows are good. So now I'm going to take another Technic product. I don't know why I have so many Technic products in this video. It's a coincidence. But yeah, this is the Snowdrift Pro Pigment. And this has a bunch of little glitters in it. And it actually has little green glitters. It is very, very pretty. And I'm using a little BH Cosmetics lip brush to get it right on the brow bone. And I do fade it out here. Then I'm going to take another pigment. And it doesn't say on here, but I believe the color is Fairy Dust. It's like a light pinky mauve color. And I'm going to add that right on top. This one is a lot more like metallic and reflective, and I'm just adding that to get a little more shine and also make it a little more pink. And then of course you want to blend that out. So to do the cut, I'm just going to use the same Technic matte eyeshadow primer. So this is the cut crease, and I'm going to apply this shimmery like mid-tone mauve color. I'm just applying it all over the cut crease. Okay, so next up what I did was that I actually applied a little bit of this W7 Starry Eyes Metallic Jelly Eyeshadow in the color Blue Moon. So it looks like so. It looks really pretty, but it's one of those type of products that when you apply it on bare skin, like on the back of your hand, when you swatch it, it looks one way, and then you try to apply it on top of eyeshadow and it just doesn't work. And I just hate these type of products because how am I supposed to use this? Because usually I'm always wearing either a primer or other eyeshadows or something on my eyelid before I would go in and apply this. So this is a skip for me, definitely. So instead I'm taking the Fairy Dust pigment by Technic, and I'm applying it right in the center, and I just softly blend it in. And this just gives a very nice highlighted effect to your eyes. And just to make it pop a little bit more, I'm going to take another Technic product. What a surprise! This is called the Glitz, and it's a liquid glitter eyeshadow. This one is in the color Silver. And I'm just going to take this on my small eyeliner brush by W7. And I apply it right on top of the Fairy Dust pigment. So now I'm going to remove the tape and we can do some face makeup. My foundation today is the Sleek Cream to Powder foundation in the color Oyster. The color looks like this. It should be a good match, I think. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of this all over. And then I'm going to use a brush to blend it out. And the brush I'm going to use looks like this. It's by W7. And I have used other of their like flat oval brushes, but not this one in particular. But they are so soft and so dense and so good. So what do you guys think of this foundation? I think it looks pretty good, but I don't know if I would say that it's like a cream to powder finish. It's definitely still creamy, you know. Now I'm moving back into my concealer palette, and I'm going to use this color up here, and I'm going to do the whole triangles underneath the eyes. And I'm just following the winged liner, or not the winged liner, the winged shadow with the concealer. And I feel like my chin is still a bit red, so I'm going to conceal that. And then a little bit down the nose. And this I'm blending out with a mini beauty blender. It blends really easily. The coverage is not full, but it's not terrible either. It's probably like a good medium coverage. So for powder, I'm going to use Technic's Soft Focus Translucent Loose Powder. So I really hope this is good and it doesn't mess up my makeup. Sometimes that happens with like translucent loose powders. So even though I'm pale, it can still kind of cake up and just look terrible when you bake with a kind of loose translucent powder. So let's see what happens. So it's definitely one of those like HD kind of powders where it's super finely milled, but of course it is called the soft focus powder, so it makes sense that it would be like a powder that would kind of melt into the skin and just blur the skin a little bit. So before I set any more, I'm going to use this cream highlighter palette. Again, Technic. This is called the Color Fix Cream Highlighter Palette. And I do have the highlighter palette, the powder version, to match. So I think I'm going to take this kind of light icy pink color and then top it off with this powder highlight. And I'm using another of the little brushes by W7. That's a big fail. That literally just removed my foundation. Okay, let me try and just see if I can salvage that. Okay, we're gonna try this again. And this time I'm going to dab the highlighter on with my finger. What do you guys think? Can you see it? And then I go ahead and set it with the powder highlights. It is a little dark, I think. Hopefully it will come together in the end. Now I'm going to try this super fine pressed powder, also by Technic, in the transparent translucent color. I am kind of disappointed in the foundation since it's supposed to be a cream to powder, but it definitely does not set. And even though it's oil free, it's very greasy. I do think it looks pretty fine now that I've set it. And I feel like this powder is a little bit yellow. It looks a little yellow in the pan, but I feel like it comes out quite yellow, but that might just be the foundation oxidizing by getting set. Okay, I'm pretty impressed with those two powders. Now I'm going to try out the Physicians Butter Bronzer, Physicians Formula, Butter Bronzer. I've been wanting to try this for forever. And it does smell like pina colada. So I am just going to go ahead and bronze up this forehead. And it actually has some nice color. I heard it should be kind of light in pigmentation, but it has an impact, as you can clearly see. It is very warm toned, but again, it is a bronzer. So I will say about the foundation though that blending out products on top of it seems to do just fine. Like, I don't get a lot of skipping or movement. So for blush, I'm going to use this Technic Mega Blush. So all of these are very shimmery. They look to have some glitter to them, but I don't know if that goes all the way through the product or if it's just an overlay. But which color should I use? The pink? Or this color? Or maybe this? Is this a highlight or a blush? Okay, so now that I've swatched two of the blushes, I can tell the glitter is only an overlay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this lightest color that almost looks like a highlight. Oh, look at that. It actually has some color. That is my general observation with colors like this. They look very muted in the pan, like almost like a skin tone powder or a highlight powder, but when they go on the cheeks they actually have quite a bit of color. And actually this color seems to be matte once you get past the overlay of glitter, so that's interesting. So I'm going to just highlight a little bit more. Now you can kind of see the highlight. It definitely is rather dark though. I was not expecting it to be this dark. Like when I look straight ahead, you can see the lines of darkness because the highlight is not hitting the light. As soon as I turn, you know, you can see boom, it beams off. But from the front it looks like a dark stripe. So it is a little too dark for my skin tone. So now I'm wondering if I should try and lighten it up or if that's just going to mess it up more. I'm going to try and lighten it up with some of this kind of champagne-y pearl color. So I don't really think that made it that much better, but I'm not going to mess with it anymore. So for my nose, I have the two colors mixed. And you know, just the same for the rest of the face, I'm mixing the two colors. Okay, so now I'm going to use Technic's setting spray. Oh, it's strong. It smells a lot of alcohol. I bet if I open my mouth and like drink this, I'm gonna get drunk. So now I'm going to clean up the lips and apply some lip balm. Okay, so moving back to the eyes, I'm going to use this Technic eyeshadow stick in the color Frosting, which is just a pearly white color. And I'm going to apply this right around the tear duct. And I'm going to apply my two pigments right on top of that base. Okay, that worked really well. But then again, this eyeshadow stick just had to be a base, so... And now for my eyeliner, I'm going to use this Technic gel eyeliner. It's supposed to be waterproof. Okay, so I'm applying this eyeliner and this eyeliner sucks. It is so hard and it's not very pigmented. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in that. Okay, we're going to move along and I'm going to try out this Technic Lash Primer and Waterproof Mascara. So the Lash Primer says it has added coconut oil, vitamin E and panthenol. I've definitely heard about panthenol. What? I've definitely heard about panthenol before, but I'm not quite sure what it is, but I guess it's something good since they are, you know, advertising that is in it. And the mascara is just called the Mega Lash Water Resistant Mascara, and I really hope this is a good waterproof mascara. But yeah, we shall see. I'm going to curl the lashes and then apply lash primer, mascara and maybe another coat of mascara. We'll see how it goes. Okay, what do you guys think of these lashes? I don't hate it, I don't love it either. I think both the mascara and the lash primer took a little long to build up and I don't have quite as much volume as I would like. However, I do think I have a lot of length and a lot of separation. So now I'm going to finish off the eyes with these W7 lashes. They are called My Wispy Lashes and these are in the style number 14. Okay, I put on the lashes and I smoked out the two darkest colors I used in the crease on the lower lash line and applied some mascara. And this is the finished eye look. So now let's go ahead and do a lip. So I'm going to take this Technic liquid lipstick. It is called Nude Edition. And yeah, I'm just going to apply that. Okay, so this is the liquid lip color. It has nice pigmentation and it feels pretty comfortable. It is a matte liquid lip, but it doesn't feel super drying. So I'm going to finish the lip off with some Technic lip gloss. This is the High Gloss in the color Kiss and Tell. And this one is so pigmented, like it's a super, well not super thick, but it's a very nice consistency and it has a lot of color. Okay, so I took my hair down, put my hat on, and this is the finished look. So what do you guys think? I think the eyebrow products I have to work with some more. Just from this first impression, I'm not loving it. I feel like they were hard to use. And I'm not really loving the result. The eyeshadow primer from Technic I do really like. It seems to work really well. I love both of these eyeshadow palettes. Technic makes some awesome eyeshadow palettes. If you have never tried Technic eyeshadows, you're missing out. They're super cheap and super great quality. And both of these are great for my purple, mauve, cool toned lovers. The Technic Pro Pigments, also really love these. I think they really added that kick to the look, definitely really impressed with these. Also really impressed with this glitter eyeshadow by Technic. It just added that little bit of glitter pop that I was looking for. The Technic eyeliner is a definite fail. I do not like this at all. It is way too hard and it's not pigmented enough. It's already wearing off in my outer corners even though it's supposed to be waterproof. The lash primer and mascara from Technic, I like them so far. I still prefer my Essence Volume Boost lash primer over this, but it's not bad. And the Technic waterproof mascara is not bad either. If it doesn't smear on me, this will definitely be a good option for me. The lashes, I love the lashes. I love the kind of little bit like of a spidery effect with the longer center pieces. I think it looks very nice. The primer I do like, even though it wasn't very like redness correcting. It has definitely blurred my pores. This sleek cream to powder foundation, I do like the way it's looking now. I'm very impressed that it's not looking super shiny because it was looking quite greasy on my skin. But yeah, I am a bit disappointed that it's not that cream to powder finish that it claims right on the front of the packaging. And I would have liked a little bit more coverage. But it is something I would try out again and you know, I would use it again and see how it goes. The concealer I do really like. I had a lipstick in my braces. Okay, anyway, this concealer I do like. It has okay coverage, it's not full coverage, but I really like the way it looks underneath my eyes. It does not look heavy whatsoever. And I was afraid this was going to be like very thin. Usually I find that drugstore concealers in pans like this, they're super thin and they just don't work that well. They're super greasy, they have no coverage. This one actually has decent coverage and it's not greasy and really slippery and all of that. Okay, the Soft Focus Loose Powder by Technic. I'm so impressed with this. I was expecting this to be pretty bad actually. But I love the way it looks on the skin. It totally blurs out the pores and the little fine lines. And it does not cake up, it looks great. The super fine pressed powder I also really like. It has done a nice job of just setting my face and yeah, it worked really well. So the butter bronzer I do also really like. This one is one of the products that I really like, but I also had really high expectations. But yeah, it definitely lived up to my expectations. So this little Mega Blush Compact, I'm very impressed. I was afraid when I started using this that it was going to be a glittery, shimmery, hot mess, but it actually looks very nice. And the glitter is just like an overlay, thankfully. So the cream and powder highlight palettes, I do like these. Yeah, I do like them. I feel like it looks better now. I definitely am glad that I put a bit of this lighter color on top. But I think if you're looking for a lot of different variety in either cream or powder highlights, these are pretty good for a drugstore alternative. The Technic Setting and Priming Spray. I mean, they didn't do anything bad. They didn't leave like big old droplets on my face. The sprayers were nice. The primer spray has a very nice scent. The setting spray is very strong. It smells a lot like alcohol. But I'll continue to use these and see what I think further down the line. The Technic liquid lipstick I'm very impressed with. Great coverage in one swipe and just it looks nice. I'm also very impressed with this high gloss by Technic. This reminds me so much of the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip glosses because it has the same kind of consistency and the same pigments. This is the kind of gloss you can wear on its own and it has not gooped up on my lips. It has not bled outside the lip line. I'm not wearing a lip liner today, so that is important. Another thing I did like was the oval brush from W7. But I already kind of knew I would like it because I've tried other sizes of this that I like. And finally, I also really like the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. It's so easy to blend out concealer around the eyebrows with this. I think next I'm going to try it actually on like the face concealer. And yeah, I believe that is all that I tried. So let me know what you guys think of this video. I am quite pleased. I was a little bit nervous, as you can tell, with some of these products. I was a little afraid of how this was going to go. but I have definitely been pleasantly surprised. And that is why I like to buy some products that are outside my comfort zone, because you never know if you're going to end up loving them. So yeah, anyway, that is all. Let me know down below what you think of the look or any of the products. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And you can also click the bell to get post notifications. And that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. So take care and bye bye.
Some work in progress, good things go